So in this class we are going to discuss about electric field due to a dipole at an axial point. So this is a regular picture of a dipole. A dipole is generally a combination of equal but opposite amount of charges separated by some finite distance. So the term dipole consists of two words. First one is di, which means two, and second one is poles, which means exact opposite. When you say that two things are exactly opposite to each other, then we also say the term that we are poles apart to each other, right? So in that sense, pole means exact opposite. So the electric dipoles means electric means something charge must be involved in that cases. And how many charges are involved? Two charges are involved. And what kind of nature the two charges should have, and that the nature is exact opposite. That means you have two charges which are exactly opposite to each other. That means one of them is 5 coulomb, then other one must be minus 5 coulomb, and they are separated by some finite distance. We call this combination as an electric dipole. Okay, so here is a dipole. So it is generally, suppose a dipole having minus q and plus q amount of charges, and they are separated by some finite distance. Then the strength of this dipole will be measured by a term called electric dipole moment, which is designated by the symbol p. It is a vector quantity, that's why p overhead arrow, and the magnitude of this electric dipole moment will be given by product of the either of the charge, that is q, multiplied by the distance of separation, that is p is equal to q times d, and the direction is given, always given by from the negative charges to the positive charges. So here in this case it is the direction of this dipole moment is from left to right. Then there comes the important part, that is there is an important long question. So electric field due to a dipole at an axial point. So generally when you have a dipole, that means you are having two equal but opposite amount of point charges. So if this is minus q and this is plus q, so whenever you have 2 points, then by joining these 2 points we can draw a minimum single line. Okay, so we can draw a line. So that line is called axial line, the line which contains both of the charges in it, that's called axial line of this dipole. Okay, and whenever we are having exactly at the center or exactly at the middle point of this dipole, if we draw a perpendicular, then this perpendicular line will be called equatorial line. This will be called equatorial line, right? So suppose there is a point a and there is a point b, and if I put minus q amount of charges at a and plus q amount of charges at b and form a dipole, right? Suppose O be the exact middle point of this dipole, and so that the distance from O to A is same as distance from O to B. Suppose the distance is L, that's why we call AO is equal to L, which is also is equal to O to B distance, right? So this clearly this is a axial line. Suppose at any point on this dipole there is a point P. Okay, so we are considering any point on the dipole. Suppose that point is P, and that is r distance away from the O, that is r distance away from the O. That is the case. Then in this long question, basically we are having a task to find out the electric field due to these two charges, which is negative and positive charges at the point P, right? Previously we have already known that how to determine electric field at a due to single charges. Now here in this case we are assigned to evaluate the electric field due to this both of this combination of positive and negative charges at the point P, right? So basically we know due to the point charges, electric field is measured by 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 q over r square, where q is the source charge and r square, where r is the distance between source charge and the investigation point. Here in this case, investigation point for the negative charge is A to P, and investigation for the investigation distance from positive charges is B to P, right? So the basic procedure to answer this long questions will be evaluate the electric field due to negative charge and positive charge individually. right? First we shall evaluate the electric field due to the negative charge only and give it a name, suppose E minus, and then we shall evaluate the electric field due to the positive charge, okay, that is situated at B, and give it a name E plus. Then we shall since it is a vector quantity at the point P, since we are having two types of vector quantity, that is E plus and E minus, and the net vector we shall determine by applying the vector addition rule, that is the vector addition rule, okay, determine its direction, determines in which direction they are going, then we shall apply the vector addition rule, and the final answer will be the answer of our long question. Clear? So here we go. There is a point. Suppose then first we go that electric field due to negative charges we have to first calculate. So if we calculate this, then it will be, I shall name it E minus vector 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 q divided by the investigation distance, that is AP. So the negative charge is situated at A, and the distance of the point of investigation is P, that's why the term AP. So 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 q divided by AP square, and the direction is always given by a single point positive charges. So if I put a positive charge at the P, due to the negative charge it will feel the attraction and it will come towards the point A. So if we look at the picture, then it will going from P to A, it is going from P towards A, that's why the term along the direction PA, right, along the direction PA. So all we have known that we have given that q amount of charges, but we don't know AP distance yet. We have already know that there is R distance and there is L distance. So if you look at this picture, then the distance from, if we have to go, here is A, if you go to A to P, then first we have to go O to A to O, this is O, and then we have to go O to P, right? O to P is R distance away and A to O is L distance away. If we add these two distance, then the result will be AP distance. That's why AP is equal to L plus R. So AP is equal to AO, if you go A to A and O to P, that's why AP is equal to L plus R. And if I put AP square, then squaring both sides I will get L plus R whole square. And this, if I put this AP square at this equation, AP square will be, the equation will be reduced to E plus is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0, which is as it is, Q divided by L plus R whole square along PA direction. Clear? 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q divided by L plus R whole square along PA direction. Okay. Then we shall consider the positive charges and find the electric field due to positive charge at P. So it will be simply E plus, I will designate it as E plus, and 1 by 4 E plus, which is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q divided by PB square, because distance of investigation is PB. Okay, the charge is situated at B and distance of point of investigation is P, that's why the term BP. So it is PB square. From the figure we can easily determine PB, but PB is equal to how much? PB, this is the PB, this is the distance PB, but this PB is equal to, if we subtract OB from the PB, this is the OB, if I subtract this, then rest of the term is my BP distance, right? This is BP and this is O. If I subtract OB from the term OP, from the length OP, then I will get PB. So PB is equal to, OP is equal to R and OB is equal to L. That's why PB is equal to R minus L. And that's why PB square is equal to R minus L whole square, and E plus is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q divided by, if I substitute PB by R minus L whole square, then I will be P plus is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q divided by R minus L whole square along which direction it will go? By the way, it will go in the direction, if I check the direction, I will put a positive charge at the point P, and due to this positive charge it will go, definitely go towards right by feeling repulsion due to the plus charges. So it will go as it seems that it is going from B to P, that's why the term, or since it is going from left to right, that's why the term BP vector. Inside on the left hand side you have B and right hand side you have P, that's why it is along the BP direction. So we are getting both E plus and E minus. E plus is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q divided by R minus L whole square, and E minus, in the previous slide we have described that E minus is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 q divided by r plus l whole square, r plus l whole square. Both the term we are getting. Then we have to consider the vector addition. We have to perform the vector addition at P, since we have known that both of the vectors has been given at the point P. So we shall add them vectorically, right? So look at the term that we are getting both of the term, and direction of these two terms, and direction of this two term is, look at the term that that E plus is going towards right and E minus is going towards left. E plus is going towards right and E minus is going towards left. And whenever you have a vector which is going exactly opposite to each other, then the net vector will be given by subtracting them, right? Suppose if you have a force of 100 Newton towards right and another boy pulls this object, the same object, with a 25 Newton force towards left, then the net effective force on this object will be reduced, and the net effective force will be 100 minus 25, that is 75 Newton, and the object will go towards, in which direction? 100 Newton force or 20 Newton force, 25 Newton force, obviously in the 100 Newton force, and the net electric field and the net force will be given in the direction which has the greater magnitude. Out of the two individual forces, which has the greater magnitude will be the direction of the resultant magnitude, right? Whenever you have two vectors in exactly opposite direction. Clear? So here in this cases also you have two charges, you have two types of electric field, E plus and E minus. Then we have to first decide that which one is greater, whether it is E plus or whether it is E minus. So first we have to calculate what is E plus and what is E minus. So we have already known that E plus is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 q divided by r plus l whole square. Okay, we have already known that E plus is equal to what? 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 q divided by r plus l, sorry, plus is situated at this point, that's why it is r minus l whole square, and E minus, here it is, and the distance is obviously greater than r plus l whole square. So look at this term, 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 is equal, q divided by q is equal, but only term that is differentiating is r minus l whole square and r plus l whole square in the denominator. That's why obviously r minus l is lesser and as compared to the r plus l. That's why E plus is greater in magnitude, since it is in denominator. E plus is greater in magnitude than E minus, right? So whenever two forces or two electric fields, one is along right hand towards right and another is towards left, then we will subtract to evaluate the net electric field, and the direction of the net electric field will be given by the electric field which has greater magnitude. Here in this case it is E plus, right? That's why the net electric field will go towards the direction of the E plus, that is towards the right. Clear? So the net electric field go towards the right direction, or the right hand side of this picture. So it is the direction of the net electric field. Clear? It will go to towards the direction of net electric field, since E plus is greater than E minus. Okay, that's why the net direction will go towards the net direction of this electric field will go towards right, and that is the direction of the E plus. Clear? Okay, now we shall perform the equation, that is E plus at the same point. That's why we term E plus plus E minus, we are subtracting greater magnitude to the lesser magnitude. Now E plus is basically, in previous slide we have already taken that E plus is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 q divided by r minus l whole square minus 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 q divided by, this is the E minus term, E minus is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 q divided by r plus l whole square. Okay, then what is the common in these cases? We are taking common, q taking common, 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 will be common. Okay, that's why we are taking 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 q common. By taking it common, I will be reduced to, I shall be reduced to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 and q. I have taken it common, that is 1 by r minus l whole square minus 1 by r plus l whole square, and now it will be, I will take LCM of this both, then it will be sorry, then it will be r minus r plus l whole square and r minus l whole square is the LCM, and then squaring then on the denominator I have this one go to towards that is r plus l whole square minus r minus l whole square, right? So whenever you have 1 by x minus 1 by y, then xy will be the denominator, and the numerator we have y minus this minus sign minus x. Okay, so y minus x, clear? So exactly the same term here, consider x as r minus l and y as r plus l, and everything follows in the same direction. Okay, so x as r minus l whole, sorry, x as r minus l whole square and y as r plus l whole square. Okay, then everything else is same, that 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 into q is same. Now look at this term, that r plus l whole square minus r minus l whole square, that is a plus b whole square, or r plus l whole square minus r minus l whole square, which is equal to 4 into a to b. Okay, so a plus b whole square minus a minus b whole square is equal to 4 into a into b. Here a is your r and r is your l is b is your l, a is your l. That's why r plus l whole square minus r minus l whole square is equal to 4 into r into l, and I shall substitute this term by 4, simply 4 into r into l. On the denominator, look at this term, that it is r plus l whole square multiplied by r minus l whole square. So x square into y square, which is equal to x into y whole square, and x into y, where x is your r plus l and y is your r minus l. So x into y means r plus l into r minus l, which is equal to r square minus l square. So x plus x multiplied by y will be replaced by r square minus l square. So that's why the term r square minus l square whole square. Okay, now I shall substitute this r square minus whole square in the denominator of this equation, clear? And it is the direction, remember that we have taken the direction as the right hand side, towards the right, and towards right it will designate from b to p, right? So the right hand side towards going towards right, that means in the left hand side we are b, we are having b, and on the right hand side we are having p. So direction is along bp direction, clear? Now I shall split this 4 as 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2. Take away this q in the middle of this equation, or the numerator q, and l as it is and r as it is, r towards the right hand side, and I shall keep this 2 multiplied by q into l inside the bracket. Okay, on the left hand side we are having 2, and right hand side we are having r. So this is on the denominator is as it is r square minus l square whole square, right? So now if you have dipole, here in this case dipole, the dipole length is from L to L, that is 2L, right? Here is the center middle L, it is L, and the total length of this dipole is 2 into L. Here the charge minus q, here is the charge plus q. So whenever I have to calculate the dipole moment, the magnitude of the dipole moment, it is simply the distance of separation between charges and multiplied by the charges. That's why p charge is q and distance of separation is 2L, which is equal to 2 into q into L. So p is equal to, by definition, p is equal to 2q into L. Okay, so remember the previous equation was inside the bracket you have taken 2 into q into L. That's why we shall replace the 2 into q into L as simply p, right? We shall replace the term, that p. So inside bracket we have taken p. So p is equal to E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 2 into p into r divided by r square minus l square whole square. Okay, then for the ideal cases of this dipole, what will happen, that in the ideal cases, the dimension of this dipole, that is the length between these two charges, will be much more smaller as compared to the distance of investigation. Okay, for practical example, if I take this dipole as 1 centimeter length away, okay, and perform my investigation at a distance of 10 meter, at a distance of 10 meter, then this 10 meter is way higher than 1 meter, right? If I compare 10 centimeter and investigate 1 centimeter, then it will be 10 meter will be much more higher than. So here in this case, this is the distance of L and this is distance of R. So R is much more greater than L. Then R square will be even more greater than L square. Okay, so whenever you square the term, that will be much more greater than its counterpart. So r square will be much more greater than L square. Then adding or subtracting L square from the R square does not make any impact on this r square, right? If you have a tank of water which contains suppose 1 lakh liter of water, 1 lakh liter of water, and then if I take away only 100 ml of water, 100 ml of water, then someone asks you that how much water does this tank have, then you obviously say that this tank has 1 lakh liter of water. Clear? You never mention that 100 meter has been taken away, since it is very negligible as compared to the 1 lakh liter, right? So that's why the term, this is, if you compare, this is r square and this is l square, then r square, if you take away l square from this term r square, then it will does not make any serious impact. That's why we call this term as r square again. Since we call this term as 1 lakh again, 1 lakh liter again, exactly in the similar manner you are saying that it is r square again. So r square minus l square will be r square minus r square will be r square, since l square is very very small. In case, remember, it is for the ideal case only. For ideal cases, r is much more greater than l. That's why r square is even much more greater than l square, right? So this is the condition. For this condition we can write this condition, and for this condition if we put this here, that r square minus l square is simply r square, so it will be reduced to, the equation will be reduced, the denominator will be reduced to r square minus r square. In place of r square minus r square, I shall put only r square. So r square, there is a square again, so r square times square, that is r to the 4. So in next step I shall substitute this r square by square, r square square by 4, and in the numerator there is r, in the numerator there is 4r, so I shall minus this one, and this will be I will be reduced to r cube. So net electric field will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 2 into p. Okay, the r has been cancelled with r in the denominator, 1 r in the denominator, that's why I am left with r cube. So the net electric field is 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 2 p divided by r cube along bp direction, which was previously mentioned. Okay, so this is the real long questions, or this is the final step of this long question. You have to calculate till here, right? So if you like this video, then please do subscribe, and if you have any doubts, then post that in the comment section. I will definitely answer that question. Okay, thank you.